Hey fellow nerds and welcome back. I am Sparrowvania and today I wanted to talk about some video gaming news. So last weekend I finally got access to the Dune Awakening beta and I've been having a lot of fun with it. Dune Awakening is a massive multiplayer online survival crafter and as I've talked about in my previous videos, I love survival crafters. I think they're really cozy. And in Dune Awakening, which is set in an alternate universe where Paul Atreides was never born, but in the game, you get to create an avatar. You get to choose a mentor, which basically decides which class you want to play as. Now, there are different classes, such as Trooper, which I chose, which has a tool, a grappling hook, which really helps with getting up on big hills or mountains or just travel quickly. And there are other classes as well, and depending on which class you choose, you're gonna have different abilities than other players. It's firstly a PvE game with PvP elements. Now, in Dune Awakening, you scavenge PvE settlements for materials where there are NPCs that shoot back at you. And with these materials, you build a base. And in that base, you upgrade your gear, you build new weapons, build vehicles to get around quicker. You can co-op build a base with a friend. That's what I did. I played with a friend and it worked seamlessly. The game has both PvE and PvP areas, and from when I played with my friend, no one was able to raid our base. And I like that a lot because I want my base to be left alone with all my materials and all my crafting tables. It's good that other players can't steal or raid your base, at least not in the beta, and I do believe it's the same way in the full game. Don't quote me on that though. On Arrakis, where the game takes place, you have to manage your water levels and you also have to manage the sun. You can't stay in the sun too long or you will get sick and eventually die. It's basically a big damage over time that eventually kills you, but it's a good idea to stay in the shadows when you're exploring Arrakis. Getting water is pretty straightforward. Either you can go to a enemy NPC settlement and scavenge for materials there, or you can build a water purifier or water collector in your base and it'll collect water for you passively, which basically kinda lowers the difficulty of the hydration mechanic. It's probably gonna be different in the full game, but in the beta, the hydration wasn't really a problem. But you also have to manage the sun. The sun is one of the worst enemies in Dune Awakening, since it's a big, really hot desert planet. You have to stay in the shadows when you explore, or at least stay in the sun for a short period of time. And on the dunes of Arrakis, the constant looming threat, the sandworms, are very apparent in Dune Awakening. As soon as you leave the comfiness of your base and the rocky areas and walk out on the dunes, you are gonna start attracting the biggest of sandworms, and they are gonna chase you down until you manage to hide or get back to some rocky areas. And they can be pretty intimidating, I must say. I got eaten at least a couple of times, my friend as well. There will probably be ways to counter the sandworms in the full game. Maybe there even was ways to do it in the beta. I didn't get to explore that very much. We did, however, get to the end of the beta, and as with a lot of survival crafters, I am worried about the amount of content in the game because, I mean, the beta had a lot of content and of course they have to cut off the beta somewhere. But in a survival crafter has to have a long progression for people to stay engaged, or a good end game, which the game seems to have with the spice contest, the PvP contest with other players to farm for spice, the psychedelic drug that exists on Arrakis. The game is a lot of fun. There's a lot of different weapons, a lot of different tools, and movement abilities and a lot of different spec trees. You can do quests for either Harkonnens or Atreides, and I do believe in the full game you have to commit to either of those houses, and I can imagine that it'll be somewhat of a World of Warcraft Horde and Alliance situation, where if you go Atreides, your enemies are the Harkonnens and vice versa. I didn't get to see any of that in the beta, but I'm hoping for a cool PvP mechanic in the full game. The game releases June 10th, 2025, with early access beginning June 5th. I believe if you pre-order the standard edition or maybe the deluxe edition, you'll get access to early access and you can start playing 5 days before the official release date. But June 5 is also the release date of the Nintendo Switch 2. But honestly, I'm probably more hyped for Dune Awakening right now because, as I said, I love me some survival crafters, and co-op survival crafters are even better. And as I said, I had a lot of fun with the game. I'm definitely gonna play it when it releases. I'm probably gonna play it before I play anything on the Switch 2. And yeah, looking forward to the game. Doom: The Dark Ages got released a couple of days back, and I've been playing it some, and it's definitely a fun and different Doom experience. If you're a fan of Doom 2016 or even Doom Eternal, you'll probably find that Doom: The Dark Ages focuses on a more melee combo system, where you have to do a correct sequence of button presses to avoid and engage the enemy. Now, there's a plethora of well-known guns in the game as well, and they work splendidly, but the game is balanced around the melee combo system. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Doom games. I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone here, but I think the Doom games are kind of shallow. There's not a lot of depth to them. There's just running around and shooting demons, which is a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, but I kind of expect more from a AAA studio developer nowadays. I want more character specialization or more weapon crafting or weapon customization. There are some weapon customization, just like the previous entries from 2016 and Eternal, but they're also very shallow. Like, you will probably have all of the upgrades by the end of the game, which is fine. Doom: The Dark Ages has launched both on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and on PC. And on PC, it's both on Steam and on Game Pass. So on Steam, it's about like 80 or 90 euros here in Europe. And for a Doom game that's about 10 to 15 hours or something long, it's a lot of money. So I recommend to play through Game Pass, which is a much cheaper alternative. Now, that being said, I do think the game is a lot of fun. It's just not as in-depth as I would want it to be. And it's also a shame that Mick Gordon isn't doing the music for the game. It's very noticeable. Even if the music in Dark Ages is good, it's not on the level of Mick Gordon. So he is sorely missed. But anyway, as I said, the game is a lot of fun. Shooting down demons and comboing them with the shield and the different weapons. It's a lot of fun for a couple of hours. Like, I play it in spurts of, like, I play it for 30 minutes and then I'm bored with it, and then I come back and play it for 30 minutes more. And it's a great game to play like that. I just don't expect it to cost $80 or $90. I do love the shield with the chainsaw mechanic and the different ways you're able to utilize the shield. Like, you can throw it on a green spot and pull yourself over a big gap, or you can arc it on shield users and it's gonna bounce between all of the enemies. Or you can throw it at a meaty demon and stun him. There's many different ways to use the shield. So the shield is a very welcome addition to the game. And I actually do really like the melee combo movesets. I do prefer that to the Doom 2016's run and gun. But the game is still a sort of a run and gun game, even if it has the combo system in it, because the maps are pretty straightforward. Some of them are bigger than others, but you're always led into where you have to go, and the new weapons you get, you're always led into it doesn't seem to be any missable weapons or missable big things. There's a lot of secrets, definitely. A lot of secrets I've found and a lot of secrets I haven't found. So for people who likes to look for stuff like that, you're probably going to have some fun in this game. Spoiler alert for those who haven't played the game, but the giant mecha and the dragon flying parts of the game, while simple, I do appreciate them because they are a new addition to what I believe is a stale genre. And flying around with the dragon feels really badass, shooting lasers on turrets and just flying through tunnels, spitting fire down the big demons' throats. It's a fun time. I just hope the next Doom does something radically different. I did expect Doom the Dark Ages to be more of a medieval, melee-focused game, and while it does have some melee mechanics, it's nowhere near the kind of medievalness I wanted it to have. I'm still having a lot of fun with it, even though I think it's quite shallow, but I highly recommend to try the game out on Game Pass and not waste 80 to 90 euros on it for a game that's probably somewhere around 9 to 15 hours long. Square Enix teased us with a couple of pictures of Kingdom Hearts 4. And as a younger me, I did love Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. I think they are really cozy RPGs. The mixture of the Disney weirdness with the Final Fantasy seriousness was a very weird mix, but it clicked with me somehow. And I did not like Kingdom Hearts 3. I think they kind of dropped the ball on that game. And now they're showing us a couple of pictures from Kingdom Hearts 4, and I gotta say, I think this looks devoid of any personality. The quirky, weird personality that existed in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, I don't see it here. I don't really understand why they chose to go with such realistic art direction. It doesn't really fit the game. At least I believe it doesn't. The one that actually has any personality is the one where Mickey Mouse is standing on a chandelier, at least in my eyes. The rest seems like a boring Unreal Engine 5 tech demo. And I really hope they're gonna up their game for Kingdom Hearts 4 because I don't think this looks good at all. And also, last week, Rockstar Games gave us a new trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6, and that game just looks perfect in my eyes. I mean, even the trailer just oozed that classic Grand Theft Auto feel. I hope you know what I'm talking about, and even just the GTA6 trailer had that feel oozing all around it. They're going for a Bonnie and Clyde combination of protagonists this time, and I'm all for it. I can sort of see where the story is gonna take us even before playing the game, but it's Grand Theft Auto. I mean, who's not gonna love Grand Theft Auto? It's gonna be a game, a massive open world with a bunch of stuff to do in it, and graphically it looks absolutely insane, even the animations. I remember playing Grand Theft Auto 5 on PlayStation 3 back in the day, and I was mind blown because of the game's animations, so I have no doubt that Grand Theft Auto 6 is gonna give us some 10 out of 10 animations and graphical performance. The music is great, the facial animations looks absolutely stellar, The different vehicles look very varied. It just looks like a classic Grand Theft Auto experience, and I've been waiting, we've all been waiting so many years for that. Anyways, that's all the news I have for you this week. And as always, if you like this channel, if you like what I'm doing, please hit the like button or even hit the subscribe button, because that would really help out this channel a lot. And until next time, have a great week, have a great weekend, play video games.